Hey, gun people! Here we go! Some news headlines. Let's go!
Hey, gun people! So this serial killer in Stockton, and Stockton's kind of I don't know how else to say it. It's another shithole city in California that used to be nice. Liberals took over, homeless took over, crime went up. Nobody could do their job. Everybody's a quota hire. There's no standards. And I think it was one of the first cities to file bankruptcy in the state of California because they just overspent, overpaid, didn't do shit, and hired crappy people. And then when crime went up, crime got out of control. Now all of a sudden we need more government, we need more money, and we need more cops. So they get what they get. But they released this video of this suspect of this dude walking, and he does have a pretty unique walk. I will give that. His gait seems to limp on the left there. You notice he leans to the left on that left step. Lean left, lean left, lean left, lean left. So he does have a unique walk. Somebody knows this guy. If they watch this video, if I saw this guy walking, I would pick him out. It's a very distinct gait that he's got. They're not saying if he's black, white, or Hispanic. They're not giving any information because they're trying to play the racial issue because 4 of the people were Hispanic. I'm going to go through the article line by line and kind of decipher what they're saying and what they're trying to hide or what they could be implicating. But this guy walking definitely has a unique gait. That's something that they need to probably get out a little bit more. So let's take a look at the article on this. So here's the chief with all his stars, doing such a great job, keeping the people safe. This whole article, and of course this is written by the New York Times, or New York Slimes, so I'm sure it's a big, promotion for government. 6 homicides since April. Unsettled residents, that's to create fear. Serial killer, we need to catch this guy because the cops can't catch him. Government can't find him. He's eluded government. He keeps killing people. People are at risk. And so now they want the pesky citizens' help. Tomorrow they'll be asking for more officers, more money, and more equipment. But today we need to, we don't have enough. So the police of Stockton said last week that 5 victims, all males between 21 and 54. Okay, so we don't really have an age discrimination here. We do have kind of a sex. One of the women was shot, but most of them seem to be men. Were fatally shot while alone in dimly lit areas at night and in the early mornings between July 8th and September. 4 of the men were Hispanic. 1 was white. The white guy doesn't count. Everybody's just kind of discounting that. They want to make it a racial issue. And then I got the impression that I wonder if all these people are homeless. Because reading this, it sounds like they were homeless. That's why they were all out. That's why they were all alone. And that's why the shootings are happening in dark in the middle of the night. But anyway, on Monday, the police said they linked 2 additional shootings. A 40-year-old Hispanic man was killed in Oakland. And they probably linked that from the same gun through ballistics. And 70 miles west of Stockton, Montana, a 46-year-old black woman was shot in Stockton, but survived her injuries. So now we've kind of lost a little bit that this is a serial killer that only wants to kill men, because he killed a black woman. So maybe he's making an exception for his racial tendencies. Of course, we don't know if he's a black male. The cops know, but they're not telling us. The chief of Stockton said in a news conference Tuesday that authorities believe we could have a potential serial killer. That's how we're going to treat this. He added that the authorities have connected the killings through ballistics and video footage, which they're not releasing. They released that one video of that guy walking. Where's the other footage? See, they always want to act like they want the help, but they want to run around and keep shit secret so they can be the ones to catch them. But, let's see. Stockton Police Department released footage on Tuesday of a person of interest. Asked residents to help. He could be seen walking with an uneven stride and upright posture. Investigators have interviewed the black woman who survived. She told investigators she was in her tent, again, leading to homeless, when she heard someone walking around her campsite, homeless. When she stepped outside, she saw someone wearing dark clothes and a mask pointing a gun at her. She rushed toward the shooter. Good for her. Meat eater. She went straight. Violence of action. Don't point a gun at me. I'll take your freaking gun. Good for her. She rushed toward the shooter and was shot multiple times. The shooter then lowered his gun. When asked if homeless people are at risk, the chief said, well, to be honest, I would say everyone's at risk. The more I read, the more I think these are all homeless people getting killed. They don't want to say that it's only homeless because they know people will be like, good, we're tired of dealing with their bullshit. We don't care. So they got to make it to where everyone's got skin in the game and everyone's at risk. I don't believe that. I think he's killed all homeless, but we'll see. None of the 5 men shot in Stockton were robbed. Their keys and wallets were not taken. This is kind of odd because he's just shooting them and leaving them. I mean, why not take their money and jewelry and go pawn it or something? So he's just shooting. He shot the woman multiple times, didn't kill her, left her. And he's not doing this for robbery, which I'm sure they got some psychologist reading or some FBI thing saying, hey, this is obviously somehow motivated that he just wants to kill certain people. And this isn't for gain. These are always more problem people to catch because it's harder. You can't track the credit cards. You can't track the money. You can't track the jewelry. You just lose a lot of leads when a guy's killing people and not doing anything. The only thing he's leaving is ballistics from the bullet. He may be leaving a shell casing with DNA or prints. He may be leaving a footprint. He's obviously left some video evidence, but these are a little bit harder when they're not taking any of the money and using it. It is not immediately known if the victims in the 2 additional shootings were robbed. How do you not know this? This is a serial case where you have multiple people killed. How do you not know? I don't believe this. This, again, government's hiding shit. I don't know why. My default is they always withhold information. Even when I was working as a cop, never told the truth. Sometimes you withhold it a little bit, so if somebody comes forward and said, I know this guy, and they can tell you something that you didn't, that was never released, it gives them credibility. But that's not why most times they do it. They hold it so they can get the credit and they want to catch them and play the hero. The police said on Friday the investigators had reviewed hours of surveillance and were seeking person interest. And they asked the public to help identify. The published photo was nothing of a still shot of that guy walking. No frontal, nothing. I looked at it. A person walking through the photo offered few identifiable cues. Investigator did not know if the person was responsible for all the killings. And the reason why they say that is we know it's the same gun, but sometimes if you have brothers or cousins or multiple people doing this, they will share the gun. One goes out, uses the gun, the other one comes back. He takes the gun, he goes out and uses it. So that's why you kind of got to leave a little bit. We don't know if it's the same guy. There could be more than one person. There could be multiple people. This is to instill fear in the public. You better help us. You're all at risk. It's not just homeless people. You know, don't ignore us. We're here to help you. Whatever. Freaking lying government. While the investigation continued, the police have asked residents to remain vigilant and avoid isolated, dimly lit areas, not to travel alone. The police also asked residents to call the tip line for possible leads. The reward for information that leads to the arrest totaled to $115,000 on Tuesday. Now, normally they say the arrest and conviction so they don't have to pay. If they're paying $115,000 just for information that leads to arrest, that means they really want this guy. Because normally they're going to hold out and say arrest and conviction, so you don't get paid until the guy gets convicted. We're pleading with our community. Oh, of course you are. Now you're pleading. Most of the time you're giving them tickets, harassing the shit out of them, unlawfully searching them, towing their vehicles, playing freaking, tyrannical cops. But now you're pleading with the community. You know what? You keep treating people like shit, you're going to be pleading with them not to freaking freak out on your ass when R2 hits. But I digress. Not that I would ever encourage violence. Asking for information mentioned, we do have grieving family members. Oh, this is all about the family members. Government. They just want to help. Oh, I think I have a little tear coming down my eye. Government cares about the family members. Who wants some sort of closure? We ask people to do the right thing and contact us. The killings have spread anxiety among some residents. Not spreading anxiety among the cops, because the cops are armed. They have radios. They're doubled up. They're not worried. Just you pesky residents that voted for gun control in California and you can't freaking get a concealed permit. That's why you have anxiety. Government doesn't have anxiety, you idiots. Prompted some to wonder unsolved homicides said he might be connected. Let's see. Community-based, organized, dedicated to eliminating gun violence. See, here we go. We're going to blame the gun, not the incompetent government, or the fact that we disarmed the citizens. So now any idiot with a gun can victimize the citizens, and we can tell them how lucky they are to have police and government save them. Something's going on in the city. No shit, something always going on in that city. It's a shithole city. When I was working in that area, and we would go there for, working auto theft, or they'd call us, or they had some big case or something, and they'd call our task force in to help or give them roads. I'm sure right now the task force is working that area right now, stopping people, looking for people with that gait, trying to identify people with tall, etc., making contacts. But anyway, it's not gang violence, so they want to get that out. Because gang violence, that city's nothing but a gang shithole. But I digress. People are clearly shaken by this. Oh, some are concerned. Most of the victims were Hispanic. There's an undertone of some kind of racism. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You freaking, that's how you got in this mess. That's why your city had to file bankruptcy. Everything's about freaking color, and you want everything free, and you want to pay everybody, and you want to give reparations, and you want to blame all the working people, which then when they leave, you have to file bankrupts. Shocking how that works out. Ray Charles saw that shit coming. Residents feeling unprotected. They should always feel unprotected. The cops, I think when I was there, the cops didn't even respond to any crime unless it was an ongoing violent crime. So unless you were actually being raped, they wouldn't respond. If you called and said I was raped, they'd say come to the PD and fill out a report. That's Stockton for you. Investigators believe the victims were targeted. Do not believe the victims were targeted because they're Hispanic. No shit, because they killed a black woman and a white dude. At this point, we don't believe that is a factor. Oh, but we had to throw in, we think there's some undertone of racism. But we don't believe it. All right, whatever. 80 miles, 320. All right, so that's about all we know right now. Oh, here it is. It became the largest city in the country to declare bankruptcy. Now, they blame the housing market, not liberal left-wing policy and overspending and freaking big government. No. It was the housing market that caused the poor city to go bankrupt. Stockton, 43 homicides. They always have a lot of homicides, and most of them go unsolved, and most of them are gang-related, and whatever. I digress. We track it daily. Let's see. Killings have created anxiety. Sure they have. Community organizer faith. Oh, yeah. Let's take killings seriously. Increase patrols. Oh, that'll make me safe. Have more cops out there harassing people. That always makes me feel safe. From what I heard from communities, they feel like law enforcement is really stepping up. They feel a strong presence, she said. Even people who don't necessarily engage with law enforcement feel like they're doing a good job. Really? Could we get some people that were interviewed that said this? Or are we just making this shit up to make everybody feel good? This is New York Times, typical left-wing support, liberal bullshit. So that's all we know right now. Obviously, we'll know more when they catch them, because then they'll be releasing all the shit. But I know some people were like, I'm getting a lot of comments. What about the serial killer? All right, that's what I think about the serial killer. Well, in that there,